Let me also thank Swamiji for providing this space. Who, by the way, accidentally our family and Bharat Sevashram Sangha has been associated for over probably 100 years. And then their headquarters is in Baliganj, very close to our home. Our oldest brother worked as a free doctor for them. So I just visited their headquarters just in September, October. So, and also their president has come to our home, and of course, this Swamiji also. This is the book I'm going to share with you. I have brought copies as you know. This is published in India, and it's available here for only $20. We had to bring, the cost of shipping and buying has gone over $2,000. Most of the money would be going to our partition documentation project. Actually, this is the second edition of my book, Empire's Last Casualty. Sorry, I just wanted to share some slides and it works. Okay, so this is the book. First book was published in 2008. I am, by the way, you didn't come here to hear, but I consider myself 100% Bangladeshi, 100% Indian, I was born there, 100% American. And so because I claimed, and in Bangladesh when I went, there was a rage against me, I am claiming my homeland from where we have been driven out, penniless. My mother stood first in all of Bengal in 1919. I'm trying to establish a scholarship in Bangladesh, in Madaripur, and Baba was probably first graduate, the first batch in Dhaka University. I'm also trying to, because I do not want to give up rights to my land. For some time, the Islamists were angry because I'm reclaiming it. Now they have stepped back. So, because they think Hindus are very coward, they do not do that, and I'm doing it. I got death threats and all that, but I never stepped 1 inch back. I'll come to that. But no, I'm not. But so I can spend hours on this, but I won't. So I'm going to share some slides because seeing things is very, very important. Please join and help our Partition Documentation Center, like this one we just released this yesterday. And before that, as you mentioned, we have created, my first visit to Bangladesh was in 1982. After we visited, the poor, especially Hindus, and they were very, very wonderful Muslims who tried to protect us. They really thought we came from the heavens, because no middle class Hindus ever go back and share with them. We started Probini by selling tea, because raising money from people who call themselves Hindus is very hard. So we 50 cents we sell cha at Durga Puja in 1991. By now we have finished 14 buildings in Bangladesh, 2 in Mizoram. West Bengal, one could never be done because of the conflict between communist and Trinamool Congress. But in Midnapur we plan, sir. So we plan to build a partition museum in New York City. We already have, but we want to do it more, because hardly anybody knows that over 50 million Hindus are missing from Bangladesh. Yes, you heard me right. I'll come to that in a second. And over 3.1 million Hindus have been murdered since 1946. Noakhali killing. Nobody ever sheds tear for that. Now, I'll be happy to answer questions. If you want, as I said, if you want to, we also have brought some copies of Partition Center Journal. People who donate, we always give it to them. We just published it a few days back. During 2021 and during the program, maybe many of you got involved and helped. One of the things that we have been able to do we encouraged two Swamijis there, belonging to the same Bharat Sevashram. We sent some money from here so that they can go and help with the people whose homes have been burned down. And maybe the first time the Swamijis went, and actually one Bangladesh newspaper even wrote one village where 100 homes were burned to the ground. They said, we felt for the first time, Bhagavan came to us. And it was such a wonderful experience. So with that, let me go through this. I have been writing since my visit in '82. I first started to write in Bengali in 1989. A Bangla, O Bangla, this Bengal, that Bengal. Then this book on the right came back, 1991. Both 89, that was in Desh Patrika, all East Bengali papers, Bangladeshi papers, and West Bengali papers had written extensively about that article. Then this thing came out. And then there was another revolution in Bangladesh. Everybody said why I am reminding them that we are exterminating people. I use the word, I don't mean very lightly. So let me go through this. Why don't you have in mind? In 1940s, Pakistan Cabinet Jogendra Chandra Mondal, by the way, he is a Hindu who supported partition. But he resigned after he said, as you can see, 2,500 people in just in Borishal district alone. That's my district. And he documented over 20,000 murdered by Pakistan. Then he resigned, came to India, and that is the contradiction of India. He then ran for parliamentary seat from West Bengal. Can you believe somebody who asked for partition of India and then comes, takes shelter and runs for, that's us. So these are the visits. So this is during my visit, Durga Sagar Lake. On the left is a Muslim driver. She says, uncle, let me take you to this Durga Sagar Lake, where hundreds of Hindu peasants were brought. They were asked to convert. When they said no, they were hacked to death. And this is a Muslim gentleman bringing me to see the place. And this is, on the back there is the, over Padma River, this is the bridge. That bridge was always a place where train was stopped, and then they looked for Hindus and who were killed or stabbed and dropped into the river. By the way, if you go to YouTube, we have a channel, please join the channel. Subscribe to the channel, it's free. It's called ISPaD, short for Partition Center, ISPaD, Indian Subcontinent Partition Documentary, 1947. You have two people. They were in here. One is a doctor in Long Island, the other one was an engineer doctor, went back to India. Both of them, when they were trying to stop the train and they came to kill them, they jumped. So it's on record, you'll see. But why we Hindus we call loss of minority population? This is what my book documents. When you read, you'll find it's from the census itself. During partition, we are almost 1/3 of the population of Bangladesh. We're the 5th largest nation in population. Now we are down to 7%. You go figure out with the growth of population what will be. So it's 49 million. I stopped in 2001 census, and Hindus lost. We also have a show. Either I have table high and low estimate 1.4. I believe 3.1 million. So, but how many of us have cried or even dropped tulsi pata for them? See, this is Bangladeshi paper writing, but hardly. Yes. There was ban in Pakistan during that time, 64, Hazrat Bal genocide, you cannot write. So they are writing, this is indirectly, that we are slaughtering Hindus. I interviewed a very well-known journalist. He has a book on Hindu killing in Bangladesh. He said, I saw in my own village Hindu peasants' bodies lying in the field. And why nobody sheds tear? You know, this is the loss of population adjusted by population growth. 2011, you will see in the book I write, I did not include 2011 because all of a sudden, to prove Western world, they showed 2% higher growth in Hindus, which I thought completely fake, and which was true, because now they said it's already down. You know. But I go there. I just went, as I said, September I was there. So this is the population, how we are going down. We are not, in Bengali we call Korpur. We are not Korpur that we can vaporize. We just cannot vaporize. So, and this is how we do not pay. This is was as you can see, and this is Ramna Kalibari. So when I went on the right side, this is where it was originally built in the 900-year-old temple. So I went to see what it is, and the left guy was a Muslim, is a gardener. He says, "Kaku, uncle, please offer some prayer." So we picked up some durba and some flower and offered there. But on the left, this is Dr. Khalek, head is a Muslim gentleman, had a commission to find out how many people were killed by Pakistan Army and Bengali Islamists. This is a list of over 100. And the brutality of it, I don't want to go into. The way even they were murdered, they were set on fire when they were alive. So, I mean, you can go on. See, for this is New York Times, 100 Hindus were killed. Why we never bothered about it? I'm moving fast. This is where the Pakistani killing of Hindus, genocide started. This is Jagannath Hall, Dhaka University, probably you know. It is mostly for Hindus, Christians and Buddhists also stay. This is a list. They came and dragged. There is a YouTube, there is a video also, how they're dragging and shooting people, and somebody is standing up who was shot but stood up. Then they came and hit with a bullet. You can see. But how many of us have shot? Anytime anywhere go, I stayed there. You see number of people that are killed. Faridpur. This is because Christians and Buddhists were not attacked, so Hindus took shelter in a church. And then the Muslims came and asked the church to take them, give them back. So the church gave them back, and they were slaughtered right there. This is the one minister who was proud that he killed 5 Hindu and 1 Muslim were fighting. And then the word that they used, like the Jews, the term extermination. So Pakistan has a secret commission. Finally somebody leaked it. So Niazi was asked, did you ask to exterminate Hindus? Of course they said no. Unless they use the word, why they use the word again. So this is in Haryana. The 65 Hindu families whose husband was murdered. Luckily, Indira Gandhi gave shelter, took it to Haryana. So I went and met with them, and they were so happy that somebody has come to see them. Otherwise, Bhadraloks do not come and see them. That's the definition of Bhadralok. So, sorry, I did the mistake. Bandabari, Rajshahi district, this is this is where Archbishop Ganguly, who is a Hindu convert, he gave those Hindus out for murder. How many have us protested? Why not? Organization of Islamic countries was very proud that he murdered that many Hindus. So I can go on and on. And Hindu killing, Muslim soldiers would do this to see if you are circumcised. If you are not, you'd be dead. Right now there is a proposal in US Congress to declare 1971 as a genocide, Bengali genocide and Hindu genocide. Please ask your congressman, senator to support it. So this is what happens 1980s, a Muslim gentleman who gave it to me, Mr. Ullah, that please go and see. These are the extremely poor people. They had homestayed probably from there to here, and they were asked to go to India because you're Hindu. They said, no, this is my land, why should I? Then they were picked up, and you can see how dark poor. Then they were picked up, took it to next to the river bank, and then everybody is watching as they are being slaughtered and cut into pieces to fit into the drum. So when I went to Bangladesh, so that time, one time, so I got down and visited my friend, and I immediately asked, I want to go and offer my apology. So a Muslim gentleman came, sir, I can take you. It's next to you. So he took me, and this is the left picture is mine. And I have a blog called Empire/Casualty. You'll see full detail of that. Why? Can you think that somebody is cutting people into pieces where others are watching? And yet, how many of us protested? What are we? Are we living beings? So this is my pictures. This 1991, 1992 pogrom. I visited village to village. When you go and see somebody on the left standing like this, what do? Whole house has been burned to the ground. Now, even if you have a 100 rupee note with you, do you think it is fair enough to give? Because that will not be, you understand the damage is so. Then 1992 pogrom, when I went, I watched myself, the 6 Shoshans have been destroyed. They are not allowing it to even cremate. So there's a term. I said, what are they supposed to do? Somebody says, they tell us, go feed it to the dog. So, but why do we not protest? So Shrikanta Rokhi, this is my friend's son, who was murdered in April 2003. So hacked. I don't want to go back. So I was so disturbed. I said, I am not, and there was no one was arresting. I went and met with the congressman. I want you to do something. And our congressman went to Bangladesh, not my congressman, from Jackson Heights. He went to Bangladesh, and he gave my letter that I wrote to Bangladesh President and Prime Minister for this. Eventually there was a trial, and 8 persons were sentenced to death, and up to 12 were I think 20 years prison. So unless we fight, nobody, as I said, they think you can slaughter and nobody would bother. And this is our homeland. On the left picture, this is the gentleman who walked kicked us out from our property. Probably you all know, there's a law in Pakistan or Bangladesh called Enemy Property Act, where any Muslim can walk into a Hindu minority home without paying a penny, but just by going to the police and declaring yourself as an enemy. That's it. The law is still there in Pakistan. How many of us have protested? I have protested. In Bangladesh, they have changed the name called vested property, and I asked their minister, I said, who vested? Did I vest my property to you? They have not changed, but they know. So this is the guy, and on the back is our home. And our 1500s temple, you'll see later, was these are our uncle and aunt's home. During the program, somebody moved in. We rebuilt our 1500 thing. You will see. Our temple was destroyed. This is my maternal uncle's home, maternal grandfather's home, who was a Dadu, Didima, 2 mamas, and they were very active in India's independence, and I understand altogether spent 17 years in British prison. I call British prisoners prison. But they were driven out. When the pogrom starts, and I asked my Dadu, he said, when police do not protect you, people do not protect you, party do not protect you, and you Hindus cannot get together. There is very little room. Because West Bengal and Tripura have been run by what I call Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Hindu refugee Indians. They have never protested. Our chief minister were all from Bangladesh. Have they ever protested? So anyway, but this is one of the first victory was this one, 1990 and 1992. This is in Mahilara village, came to destroy. And so I wrote to, and there's a very high class Hindu, very poor, 100 times better than me. And they said, when I said I'm going to pay, repair it, police stopped it. Again, this is my first victory. I wrote out probably 60 letters to the president. I started with district magistrate with a copy to, home minister and all that. Then I got a letter back from president's office that we are going to repair it. Once they repaired it, we built this on the right hand side. That's the building. Niyarkana Bhaktabash o Vidyalay. We built in the name of our mother and mother-in-law. So how poor are the people? When I go, I always take clothes and shoes. This lady, you see, is carrying something, is carrying my shoes. So she says, "Uncle, can I take these shoes?" I said, "Why?" He says, "My son is appearing high school exam, he has no shoe." I said, "Of course." So this is our first building. And the bottom is my Shefali's maternal ancestral home. This guy took it over. It's called Headmaster's House. This is, on the left, is the one building we built, Sriramkati Probini School on the left. And on the right is Bangladesh Gandhi Ashram, where we started to help. Actually, Gandhi Ashram, Gandhiji went during 1946 pogrom, and he stayed there. But somebody else took it over. In front there is a Joyag Lake, and the Muslim groups took it over and built a mosque on top of the river. I started to write to Bangladesh, "You have to remove it." So finally they did. And one time then I went to visit, head was Jharnadi. Jharnadi rushed me to the district magistrate because she was coming under pressure by Islamists, that she has done this. Took me and said that this is, I forget the name, he said, "Mr. Islam, this is the guy who wrote the letter." I said, "Yes, of course I did." She had nothing to do with it. If there is anything wrong, you should blame me, not her. And the gentleman is very nice. He said, no, you did a great job. Otherwise, nobody would have removed this. This is the Madaripur Ashram. This is our school we built. This is dormitory, student dormitory. On the right hand side is in Khulna district. We opened this. So when we have this kind of a thing, this is one of the first revolutions in Bangladesh. They say this is the first time, as you can see, very, very high class Hindus, very poor Hindus got together. They're laying foundation to that Niyapana Bhaktabasha Vidyalaya. First time that somebody is building something, protect Hindus. And just this Shivratri, the monk there called me, here, he called me, they call Baba. Baba, you won't believe how many Hindus came marching during tens of thousands. This is, I have never seen this can happen. So, and this is the type of we do. As you see, with these names, there is probably 1/3 is foreigner, including in this case, Sri Jonathan Patrick Buchanan here. One of our students in my university, hard way I'm doing, when he graduated, whatever money he got, he gave it to us. And so we put their name in. This is the way we do. I'm moving fast. Without our knowledge, they have built some buildings named after me, put things, and put Shefali with next to deities. So this is in Mizoram, the school we did. And this is, as you see, even this one. We built, we just got it. There's two Muslim gentlemen provided. One provided probably $16,000, Mohit Rahman, and then the other one Mahbul Hassan. So there are good people who have come when I never saw them through my own eyes. The hard we are doing, they send money with full faith. Without that, because each building cost us $20,000-$30,000 to build. So this is our, we'll have a project in the future. This is on the left hand side. Swamiji is rededicating our Sri Vishnu Mandir. 1 year ago, we repaired it, and we asked Swamiji, I do not believe in caste and sexism. I asked Swamiji to ordain her to be the priestess, daily priestess, and Swamiji did that. And this is the Swamiji who is going whenever Hindu homes are burned down and slaughtered. She is going. There is other Swamiji also from their road. So lucky. And on the right hand side, this time they asked. This is a Kali Mandir, was destroyed in 1950s. So we have started the process of building it. I have to raise $15,000. So in case any of you are interested, please let us know. These are our contact information. So before I go, I have just need 10 more minutes to show you how can I change the other slide.